probably time to go. This is an adult show, yeah, this is an adult show. And if you ain't one of them, it's probably time to go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming. Welcome back to the show. It's Wednesday night. Yes, I was live Monday during the Eclipse. Because, no zombies. That's, no zombies, no second earthquakes. Just a sun getting blocked out by the moon and people losing their minds. And man, traffic was fierce. We're going to talk about that. I got some self-shot footage of just how crazy it was. But yeah, we also streamed. It turns out that if you put the little Eclipse glasses over a camera, it happens to work and you can actually view the eclipse through it. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that would actually work. Pretty interesting. We also got the Festivus report to get into, where Rand Paul lays out the billions of dollars we've wasted on ridiculous things. The Biden diary. Somebody got arrested for that. We got Rep Sheila Moon telling kids that the moon is a planet made up of mostly gases. It's been a week. Let's put it that way. Yeah, we also got a $25 meal deal in California on McDonald's already, because who thought that wasn't going to go well? And then we'll follow up with the guy from Momofuku. He sent cease and desist orders, and they're calling him a culinary wow, that's a tongue twister. A culinary colonizer. That's right. Interesting times we live in, my friends. But yeah, we got a whole lot of show to get into. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, back, baby.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits?
This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of a punk, and then all his friends left him, and now he's here alone. This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of punk. Now he's here doing the Drunk and Underwhelming live show.
This is a weird show.
Drunk and Underwhelming live show. Drunk and Underwhelming live show. Drunk and Underwhelming live show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming. It is TDAU Live, episode 21 of Vermont's Crazy Eclipse Stories and Other Silly Stories. Yeah, stories in there twice, because why not? Let's do this thing. But yeah, what a week. I hope you guys were safe. I hope all of your eyeballs are intact. And if you did stare at the sun like everyone else in Vermont, that you at least, took some safety protocols and wore some glasses. I do wish, however, that I had gotten, I really wish I had a welding helmet that would have made this event much better. And, yeah, we got a little video of the craziness in and around Vermont, and then I got a couple videos to share from my private collection. No, I thought this, okay, there we go. It's like, I thought this video was going to be better and show the ridiculousness that was. Yeah, this is beautiful scape there. And it gets dark. Yeah, pretty cool. And that's during the full eclipse. Yeah, got all sorts of video. Oh, that one is Killington. Just have the Killington shot. Can't miss the Killington shot. That's the home stomping grounds. You got to check and see that. Yeah, right there. I believe that's Killington shot. I do believe. Pretty neat. Yeah, obviously I was out there with the camera grilling some ribeyes on Monday, because what else are you going to do? Yeah, stuck in Vermont during the eclipse. And certainly we were. I'll share some videos of the mass exodus. We had to make a run down to Hanover and West Leb area, where take my wife's coworker. This was hysterical. This is a line at the local price shopper Hannaford's for people to charge their Teslas. Just making sure. I don't think I had audio shared, but I don't want to get the copyright claim for the Malcolm Moore song in the background. Oh yeah, just a big old fat line of cars, and many more parked in there. Yeah, waiting to charge. And there we were, just chuckling away. Like, dude, this is a little bit crazy. This one is the Interstate 89. We were headed north. This was Monday night at about 7 o'clock. So about 3.5 hours post Eclipse. And yeah, this is just we're one of two cars headed north. And this is a line of traffic that stretched from the West Lebanon exit up until this one. That is traffic as far as you can see. This is from Route 4 overpass on 89. So yeah, at like 2 exits at least backed up, and they were going like 5 or 10 miles an hour. And yeah, I heard many a story from people. It took them like 4 or 5 hours to get out of the state and back down to Massachusetts or wherever they came from. There was plates from all over the place up here this past week. It was quite the time. Yeah, just a fun little Eclipse action. Lots of tourists, and one of those days where you're like, yeah, I don't think 3 minutes of total eclipse is worth driving 6 hours to go 2 hours. And yeah, that's so yeah, we watched it right from the deck. It was beautiful. Grilled some steaks. The live stream's up on the channel. TDAU Live Special. This one was a story I saw, and I had to cover on Molasses' behalf because he was pretty upset when he saw this one. Millions of wildflowers now delight the community where Vermont couple used to spend all day mowing grass. Yeah. From a small Vermont countryside community comes the story of 2 Long Islanders. So they're not Vermonters, right? Like, they're not a Vermont couple. They're a couple of transplants from Long Island. Like, let's set the story right. Small Vermont countryside community. This comes the story of 2 Long Islanders who ditched mowing their massive lawn and planted wildflowers instead, delighting neighbors, birds, bees, and butterflies. Not to mention increasing the tick population in their area greatly. They've steadily grown their wildflower meadow to 2.5 acres, which has become so popular that it inspired others nearby to do the same. I'm not even going to name them because I'm angry. Started their makeover during the pandemic when Gillard lost her job and Yako's hours were cut. So they had more time to mow grass. Go figure. He still worked remotely for the same company he had held when he lived in Long Island, and told the Washington Post that their 5-acre property in Chittenden used to boast a sea of grass that required a whole day to mow and trim. 2.5. You'd afford a better mower, you'd think. If you bought a 5-acre property in Chittenden during the peak of the pandemic, you probably paid a ridiculous amount for it. Wanting to do something different, they explained their predicament of exhaustive mowing to a local whom they had befriended and just happened to work for a company called American Meadows. It would cost a couple $100s and require a fair amount of initial work, but the friend suggested they plant wildflower meadow that would grow on its own ever afterward. They liked the idea, so they ripped up an acre's worth of grass, tugged out all the large stones, tilled the land, threw down the contents of a 50-pound bag of wildflower seed containing 27 species, and then waited. In the spring of 2021, it arrived. First came baby's breath. Then came red and yellow poppies, pink catchfly, bright orange sulfur cosmos, red columbine, and purple foxglove. Reported Vermont Public, which is the first couple's first taste of the national media. We had no idea that we'd be looking at after we first planted the meadow, but that was part of the fun, Yako told the Post. I mean, even though they had a bag of seed that laid out everything that was in the bag of seed, because if you didn't know what was in the bag of seed, why would you be laying it down? That makes like 0 sense. What's so cool is that every couple of weeks, the meadow looks totally different, Yako said. At the time of the Vermont Public, you don't know exactly what's going to come up or when it's going to come up, and that's part of the magic. It's not magic, it's laziness, my friends. The beauty of the meadow is striking. As soon as it began to draw attention among the local community, people offered gratitude for coloring up their morning commute. People brought baked goods, bouquets. Most importantly, for the newcomers who had difficulties meeting new people on Long Island, they brought friendship. Yes, the real magic was the laziness we discovered along the way, I suppose. Neighbors, this woman and her partner, that guy, were so inspired by the meta that they asked to work together with the Echo on seeding another acre of their property to connect with an additional half-acre plot, which the couple had started after their dazzling year of blooms. We started this as not wanting to mow grass, never expecting it would become what it has. Now we're helping the bees, we're adding beauty to the landscape, and we're making the community happy, as well as the community of ticks. you are definitely. I can't wait for the article in 5 years when you guys all have Lyme disease and are like, I don't know how this happened. We just have an unkempt 2.5 acre field that we like to roam through. I have no idea how both of us managed to get bitten several times by ticks. It's wild. No one could have predicted this outcome. Speaking of things nobody could have predicted, we got more cicadas on the way, ladies and gentlemen. Map shows where trillions of cicadas will emerge into the U.S. this spring. Trillions of periodical cicadas will emerge from the ground this spring, bringing with them their loud buzzing and molted exoskeletons. Here's where you'll be able to see cicadas in the U.S. Where or when are they coming? There are two groups of periodical cicadas. Those that emerge every 13 years and those that emerge every 17 years. For most of their lives, cicadas live underground and then emerge once the soil reaches 64 degrees. They're temperature dependent, and their emergences may vary depending on location. In 2024, they're expected sometime in May or early June, according to Ken Johnson, horticultural educator at the University of Illinois. Since they may warm up faster in southern states such as South Carolina, the cicadas might emerge as soon as April, while in cooler states such as the upper Midwest, they might not emerge until June. This year, both 13 and 17-year cicadas will emerge, arriving in numbers that have not been seen in generations. Seems like every time they show up, it's wow, the cicadas are crazy. They mate, molt, and then die, leaving behind their offspring to bury themselves in the soil and lay dormant until the next brood's next cycle. Then they only last about a month above ground, and no, they aren't dangerous. Unlike locusts, which eat plants, cicadas get their nutrients from small branches. Most trees, however, will remain unharmed. I like how they say most trees and say that nothing will be injured. Most trees should be fine. It's like, yeah, nobody will be affected. I mean, most people are going to survive it. You'd be like, so people are affected? I'm confused. Still, Johnson advises not planting any new trees ahead of a periodical cicada emergence. You put netting around the small trees and shrubs to keep them away, making sure openings are no longer larger than 1/4 of an inch so the bugs can't get in. The 13-year cicada is called Brood 19, will emerge in Georgia and the southeast. The 17-year cicada is called Brood 13, will appear in Illinois. Wow, I can read Roman numerals still. That's okay. I guess I did learn something in public school. That's wild. This will be the first time since, and I don't even follow football, so that's even more impressive because I haven't been trying to figure out the what Super Bowl it is in quite a few years. This will be the first time since 1803 that two broods emerged at the same time. Wow. Just like we hear about the crazy cicadas every couple of years. It's always like the first time every time. The next time this happens will be 2037, which yet again will be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. The overlap of these two broods has been dubbed by an expert Cicada-geddon. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Cicada-geddon's upon us. As if you didn't think the signs of the rapture. It won't be the biggest cicada event. In 2076, the two largest broods, 19 and 14, will come out together. This is the Cicada Palooza, University of Connecticut cicada expert John Cooley said. 2076, yeah. So we'll see. Most of us probably won't be around to see that. Well, who knows? We might not be anyways. You never know what's going to happen. The broods will emerge peacefully, but Cooley said hundreds of trillions or even quadrillions of cicadas are expected. That's an average of 1 million per acre over millions of acres. Yeah, that's a nutty amount. It's going to be so loud and annoying. Some of the cicadas, however, have come in contact with fungal pathogen called Massapora secandina, which makes them hypersexual. Sexually transmitted fungal infection. Gross. Turns them into so-called zombie cicadas with a white, chalky, white plug erupting out of their bodies and making their genitals fall. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a good time last time. Cicada expert Matthew Casson said it's not yet clear how the fungus impacts other wildlife, animals, or humans. Cicada continues to participate in normal activities like it would if it was healthy. Like it tries to mate, it flies around, and it walks on plants, yet as a third of its body has been replaced by fungus. It's really kind of bizarre. The dual cicada blood emergence brood. Whoops, Freudian slip. The dual cicada brood emergence will primarily be seen in parts of Illinois and Iowa, as parts of Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Yeah, that's a pretty big, and yeah, right over here, you got the crossover zone. Map from the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows the emergence of both the 13 and 17 broods from 2013 to 2029. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I guess the closest we got was back in 2013, which I guess means that their 17-year. Yeah, we're going to have that's 24 and 25, 26, 27. So yeah, at 2027, Brood 2 will be back, and those ones almost get up into Vermont. Definitely in a part of New York. So yeah, that'll probably be the one we hear about the most up here. But kind of interesting, kind of neat. Nothing too crazy. Just more. The locust horde is upon us. That's a thing that's happening. Oh yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. Oh, here was a funny headline I thought I saw. Fani Willis inconsistencies discovered by the Department of Justice. Yeah, because people haven't been yelling about that on social media for like months now. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. Hope your eyes are still intact. Apparently they are if you found your way to the stream. You never know. But yeah, they full of inconsistencies. The DOJ discovered alleged inconsistency. Fulton County District's Attorney Fani Willis's use of some federal grant money, according to a new report. Willis has risen to national prominence for leading the Georgia election interference investigation against former President Donald Trump, which could be argued that it's election interference in its own. Her probe focused on his call Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, in which he used to asked him to find enough votes to tilt the election in his favor, as well as the alleged plot to submit a false state of pro-Trump electors to the Electoral College. Although I saw that they did pass something, the narrative was like, oh, that can't happen. There's no way that a different slate of electors could be used, and then they promptly passed a law that it can't be done anymore. But nobody paid attention to that because you wouldn't want to have to admit that your media is lying to you. The Justice Department confirmed in a statement filed by the Washington Free Beacon that some inconsistency had been found in her use of these funds. During our review of the reward to respond to this inquiry, we have noticed some inconsistencies in what Fulton County has reported, and we are working with them to update their reporting accordingly. Oh, yeah, no, please don't look into this anymore. Just help them fix it and move on, because Fani good, Orange Man bad. Remember, people, narrative. Specific details about what inconsistencies were found, what the specific grant was intended for, and what the funds may have been used for remain unconfirmed. Newsweek reached out to Willis's office and the DOJ for comment. Willis has been sparring with Representative Jim Jordan, the Ohio Republican who chairs the House Judiciary Committee, over her office's use of grant funds. February, Jordan, the House committee, issued a subpoena to Willis's office requesting documents relating to her office's receipt and use of federal funds, threatening to hold her in contempt of Congress. She did not provide further documents by March 28th. In her own letter, Willis responded that her office, quote, had already provided you with substantial information about our programs that are funded via federal grants. Well, send more. Isn't that what you say to people that the federal government's going after? That's not sufficient. We're going to need more. Further, as I expressed to you in my letter dated February 23rd, 24th, this office is in the process of producing relevant documents to you on a rolling basis and is undertaking a good faith approach to provide you with responsive information about our federal grant funding. Her office also wrote that Jordan's request of extensive document demands is unreasonable and uncustomary and require this government office to divert resources from our primary purpose of prosecuting crime. Yeah, as crime skyrockets across the country. You're busy going after the leading Republican presidential nominee. It totally seems on the up and up. This is just a normal thing. Don't you mind the fact that this is completely unprecedented, and we live in times where we have nothing to compare it to, because this is not how normal America works. But hey, apparently in New America, you even get accused of being a culinary colonizer. Yeah, people are calling for a boycott of David Chang's Momofuku after the company sent cease and desist letters, or cease and desist to Asian-owned businesses. If you're a food lover, you're probably familiar with David Chang as one of the most visible celebrity chefs over time. Chang is perhaps best known for founding the Momofuku restaurant in 2004, which sparked nearly 2 decades of TV shows like Netflix's Ugly Decisions, media appearances, and books. Yeah. Ironically enough, ladies and gentlemen, my background is in the arts of culinary, and I couldn't give any less cares about anything that the culinary world deems relevant, because most of these people are idiots. That's all I really have to say, is that most of the culinary pop culture in this country is trash. And it's all, I can't even watch cooking shows anymore. And I never really have, because if you know how to cook and you're trained and you know what's going on, food ninja. Well done, sir. They're calling him a culinary colonizer. I think that's like one of the greatest names I've heard for somebody in a while. You're a culinary colonizer. But as a guy who like knows how to cook, like, it is impossible to watch that garbage and not just be upset the whole time that these people are worse cooks than you are. Even though you're not on TV, you're not going to land a sponsorship deal. You're not going to be the next Guy Fieri. Even if you're really good at your craft, unless you happen to get lucky and know somebody at Food Network. It's garbage, and it's so annoying, because most of these people aren't picked for their culinary skill. They're picked for the fact that they're going to cause drama on screen. 2018, he launched the brand new consumers packaged good lines, Momofuku Goods, which sells Asian-inspired groceries like restaurant-grade soy sauce, air-dried instant noodles. Shortly after launching, the brand added Chili Crunch to its roster to capitalize on America's rapidly growing appetite for chili crisp, a sweet and spicy umami-packed chili oil condiment that's been a household staple in China, many other Asian countries for decades. Chili Crunch. Last week, David Chang, Momofuku, and their Chili Crunch offering became the main characters in a heated PR crisis. Oh no. On Thursday, The Guardian reported that Momofuku sent cease and desist letters to at least 7 companies that branded their condiments as Chili Crunch or Chile Crunch, as they attempt to trademark the former with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. It's worth noting that Momofuku has owned the trademark right to Chili Crunch since last year as part of a legal settlement with Chile Colonial, a Denver-based company that produces a Mexican version of Chili Crisp similar to Salsa Macha, to which Momofuku now licenses the Chili Crunch trademark. Omaya, a brand that sells Malaysian sambal chili crunch product, was seemingly one of the first companies to make news of the cease and desist public. Founder Michelle Tu told The Guardian that the letter claimed Omaya's product to be a trademark infringement and that the company had 90 days to cease the using of the chili crunch trademark. In the caption of an Instagram post, Tu exposed how shocked and disappointed she was to be legally threatened by a well-known and respected player in the Asian food industry, all for selling a product as part of her family's history and culture. Yeah, because it's all about who's the bigger victim right now, right? Myla, a company specializing in frozen soup dumplings and founded by husband and wife team Caleb Wang and Jen Lau, posted a similar statement on Instagram after receiving their own cease and desist from Momofuku, stating that there's plenty of room for others to share their authentic flavors and cultural experiences. Jing Gao, founder of Fly by Jing, and frequently cited as one of the central figures popularizing chili crisp in the States, has also publicly spoken out against Momofuku in recent days through Instagram and her Substack newsletter. Though, according to the LA Times, Fly by Jing recently applied to trademark Sichuan Chili Crisp and Chengdu Crunch before withdrawing the application shortly after. In the hundreds of comments across all 3 posts, the public's inherent frustration with Momofuku is palpable. Oh, well done with your food wordplay. Many commenters, including the online subtle Asian baking, call for Chang to apologize to AAPI community for bullying smaller Asian-owned businesses. Just call your Chile Crunch Chile Crunch. You already have the trademark for it, then apologize to the AAPI community. Asians should be lifting each other up and spread awareness and acceptance of our food and culture in the West, and not using private equity money to bully small Asian businesses or trying to make it here. Stop appropriating and commodizing our culture for corporate gain. Period. This is fun. It's like watching a small group infight when you're on the sidelines and you're like, I don't care about any of you, but this is like when it's like when Andrew Tate and Greta Thunberg were fighting on Twitter, and all my friends were like, "Oh my God, can you believe what's going on?" I'm like, I don't care. I think both of these people are trash. I I like it when people I don't care about fight. I think it's funny. Quite literally, WTF? Why are there so many delicious foods come out of Korea? Chili Crunch is not one of them, so Momofuku had zero claim in the first place on the cultural grounds. But they probably didn't realize that the APAPI small business community is tight-knit, would stand up for each other, unlike them with their sharp elbows, so we can all boycott their products altogether. How can you own a condiment that belongs to another culture that you're not even a part of, David Chang? You remember where you came from? You got famous off ramen, guabao, and now chili oil, and you're trying to monopolize the market. You're no better than any of our colonizers. You're a culinary colonizer. Your mom is absolutely right in calling you a baby king. Please continue working on yourself and practicing some self-respect so you can understand how to respect others and culture as a whole. Yeah, savage. Loving it. Loving the drama. Several small Asian markets and grocers like Rice Market in Washington also pledged their commitment to no longer sell Momofuku goods products in their stores as a result of the company's decision. Okay, so we will now no longer sell Momofuku goods products at our market. We'll sell everyone's product through Hamaya Foods and Sambaldi, but and whoever may change the description of your chili to something rather than crunch, just because some a-hole money trademark a description of products that's wasn't even a name just because one can. We'll put the biggest sign on the shelf to describe your product. That's AKA Chili Crunch for you all instead. Okay. Nice. So drama made its way to X, aka Twitter, or Twix as we like to call it. TikTok over the weekend, even more discourse ensued. Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of discourse. It wasn't just people ranting like banshees, particularly among the AAPI creators. I'm assuming that's Asian American and Pacific Islanders. I'm guessing that's what AAPI is. I kept thinking A or P at first, and I was like, oh, it would be really funny if the old people took down this company. But in a tweet seen by nearly 150,000 X users, which is, a handful, Chef John Kung said the community approval doesn't matter if all you want to do is win. Nodding to Chan's money amassing Momofuku empire. Last year, Momofuku goods alone brought in 50 million. Momofuku trademarking Chili Crunch shows that having the approval of your community doesn't matter if all you want to do is win. He didn't want to be the best. He doesn't want to be respected by AAPI. He wants to be the who white suburbanites. Oh, he wants to be the who white suburbanites reach for when they're at the Erewhon. That's pretty funny. Smack down on Twix. Additionally, nearly 500,000 X users saw Simu Lee's post viral tweet challenging Momofuku to a blind taste test to their better Chili Crunch sauces. Shin Liu is of last year and the previously mentioned Mila's chief content officer. Hey, Momofuku, I hear your bullying business is over the use of the term Chili Crunch. As chief content officer of Mila, I propose a blind taste test of both our Chili Crunch sauces. Winner keeps the name. Loser, I bet it'll be you. Backs off. Game on. See, that's how you respond right there. In a reply to another X-user, he iterated that there was room for all in the marketplace, and that Momofuku's attempt to trademark Chili Crunch is like trying to claim ketchup or mayo. Does it matter that I saw your brand first and years before Momo jumped on the bandwagon? Appreciate it. Asian Chili Crunches actually predate all of our businesses and will dare long after. Trying to claim ownership of it's like trying to claim ketchup or mayo. There's room for all in the marketplace, from the mom and pops to the Milas and Momos. Yeah, like the Hellmans and the Heinz and the Sriracha. Speaking of giant brands. The point is that there's one His point's one that's very worth considering. Sure, chili crisps or crunches or whatever other descriptors you could toss in may not carry the same weight as ketchup or mayonnaise here in the States. Judging by the condiment's burst in popularity over the past few years, might not be far off from reaching the status of other well-known Asian condiment that took the United States by storm, sriracha. David Tran, the Vietnam-born founder of Hoi Fung Foods, the first company to popularize the Thai-inspired sriracha hot sauce condiment in the U.S., never attempted to trademark sriracha. Instead, he trademarked the logo, including the iconic rooster and green cap. He even claimed that his brand had received free advertising over the years thanks to unrestricted use of the word sriracha. Through his recent Hoi Fung sriracha shortage, a dark time in my household. Yeah, it was sad. It was sad. We saw that free advertising played out in real time. Minimal quantities of Hoi Fung sriracha sauce available globally. People still crave the original, despite having access to some uber delicious newer contenders in the sriracha market. Nick's over there said, "Will the Food Ninja work on chocolate cake?" I think so. I mean, you might need to add some liquid. Like, the point would be to blend it, right? And like make a smoothie. I know that you could put chocolate cake in my Ninja Foodie, but that's an air fryer. Actually, that would probably be pretty delicious. Even though I'm not big on cake, unless it's the proverbial kind and not the actual kind. Amidst growing calls for the boycott of Momofuku products and businesses, illustrated by the slew of negative comments on recent or pinned products from the brand, it's impossible to know if all the brands who receive cease and desist will comply or choose to enter the costly legal battles instead. According to The Guardian, several smaller businesses they spoke with have already given in to Momofuku's demands and refused to go on the record with the publication about their experience for fear of retaliation. Such a bully, you tarnished your brand name after going one small person companies. I hope it's worth it. Every time it'll be tied to you being a bully in the market. You guys suck. Like, you invented Chili Crunch or Crisp. The only thing this makes me want to do is never support your business again. Yep. That's pretty much where we are. Ooh, cake farts would be much better after a good air frying, my friend. You know what I like? Cake farts. True stories. That's one of my favorites. There's one sneaky silver lining in the dispute for everyone who's not Momofuku. It's the enhanced visibility and reach that comes with such a public battle. Consumer branding and marketing expert Schwinbego says in a viral TikTok, some social media users and Chili Crisp fans everywhere are now making a concerted effort to support their brands affected. David Chang's bullying of these other Chili Crunch brands is possibly one of the better things that could happen to them, he says. Case in point, people are using their platform to boost API-run Chili Crisp businesses, and as a result, some are noticing increased visibility and brand awareness. Yeah, make sure you check out all these amazing API-run small businesses, each with their own delicious Chili Crunch sauces. Hamaya Foods, Fly by Jing, this little goat, Get Bowl Cut. Get Bowl Cut. That's a great name for a... it's a great name. Red Bloom Chili. Eat Carry Carry, Chile Crunch, Logan Masuma, Queen of Hot Pot. Yeah, I like that one too. That's Zindru, Mr. Bing, New York City, and June's Kitchen. Tag other brands we may have missed. Yeah, just a small time battle going down over the infamous Chili Crunch. That's right, my friends. Not just a cereal. It's in fact red peppers. I guess it's like, let's actually look up how to make. I'm pretty sure it's just like red pepper flakes cooked in oil, but I guess we'll go spicy chili oil, crispy bits. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I may pay extra for Miss Hot Pot. Just saying. Hot Pots are weird, man. I've been to one once and it was like a fun experience, but not something I want to do again. It's like paying extra money to cook your own food. It's like a hibachi, but there's no grill, and you just have a pot full of water that you can dunk food in to cook it. It's like, I get to done this at home. I don't understand. Chili Crisp is infused chili oil condiment with crunchy bits made by simmering chili peppers, onions, garlic, and seasonings and oil. It's spicy, salty, and savory with an addictive umami. Great for adding flavor and texture to anything from sandwiches to desserts. Components to make chili crisp. Chili oil. Chili crisp is essentially infused oil, so oil is the obvious main component. Vegetable oil is perfect here, though peanut works well. You can realistically use any cooking oil to make chili crisp. Crispy bits. This is the stuff that puts the crisp in chili crisp, the ingredients that crisp up from cooking in the oil and make it crunchy. Common ingredients include shallot, green or red peppers, garlic, and ginger. Dried chili flakes are also common. There are many options. Other ingredients are popular are nuts for extra crunch, like soy nuts, peanuts, and more. Seasonings for flavoring, your options are only as limited as your imagination. I used to use Sichuan peppers, chili powder, soy sauce, sugar, MSG, cinnamon, and star anise. That sounds pretty Asian to me right there. Options include cardamom, extra spicy peppers, herbs, and so much more. Chili crisp ingredients: vegetable oil, chili peppers, shallot, garlic, ground Szechuan peppercorns, red pepper flakes, gochugaru, soy sauce, sugar, MSG, cinnamon sticks, star anise, or anise if you're like me. Mushroom powder for an umami boost. Sesame seeds, roasted peanuts. MSG strongly encouraged. MSG adds extra umami to the finished crisps and makes it so delicious. However, you can skip it if you have any concerns over MSG. You see salt instead. You should not have issues with MSG because it's delicious and it's in everything. No cilantro. Well, yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't put cilantro into a chili crisp. That would be that'd be like no bueno. Did they suggest that? Okay, just making sure. Cardamom. And yeah, like cook that stuff, simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. The ingredients in the pot brown. It's quite fragrant. You take longer for the bits to brown and crisp, depending on the size of chopped pepper and oil temperature. Let it go. Remove from heat and allow it to cool for 5 minutes. The flavors will infuse the oil even further. Separate heat-proof bowl. Mix together chili flakes, paprika, or gochugaru, soy sauce, sugar, and MSG. Strain the oil into the mixed chili flake mixture. Reserve the crispy serrano, fried shallots, fried garlic bits in the strainer. Set them aside now for cool, which will allow them to fully crisp up. Pick out the cinnamon stick and the star anise pods, then swirl the crispy bits back into the oil. Cover and refrigerate overnight to let the flavors develop even more. Stir before serving. And yeah, you got this stuff that is an oily mess with some pepper flakes and stuff in it. Yeah, okay. And apparently, sometimes you gotta just bully a bunch of people into taking the owning the right to a simple condiment. Yeah, I'm gonna. I should pick one. I should just take one. Like, yeah, we own mustard now. So, Heinz, cease and desist, buddies. Yeah. There we go. Let's check in. See how California is doing after the minimum wage hike. McDonald's $25 deal goes viral. Users blame California's minimum wage increase. Quote, your new normal. Yeah, get used to it, California. Viral social media video about a $25 McDonald's deal recently sparked an online debate about California's minimum wage increase. TikTok user posts videos under the username Who Cares shared the video on March 27th. She was in the drive-thru of Southern California's McDonald's location when she saw a sign for a 40-piece chicken McNugget meal deal, which also included 2 large fries. Price of the meal was $25.39, including sales tax to come up to roughly $27. In the video, the social media user lamented that the meal didn't even include a drink. Okay, so for $25.39 for 40-piece nuggets and 2 large fries, you couldn't even throw in the Sprite. Savage. Oh yeah, like pick your chili crisp from like a real one. I would, but I'd be nervous anything that came out of China, even though half our stuff does. It's like they use like gutter oil and stuff over there, dude. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely like you could get an authentic one that's not like made here. Like find the one that's got a label that you can't read anything on, and they have to have a little sign on the shelf that says this is chili crisp. That's probably the one you want. 10 years ago, the average price of 10-piece McNugget meal was $6. Now the meal usually goes for 11. Video ended up amassing 2 million views, bringing thousands of TikTok users in this comment section, many of whom were nostalgic about McDonald's past prices. Remember when the 40-piece nuggets was $5 and a large drink was $1? To be fair, the large drinks were just $1 after a little while. A little while ago. I mean, it's like $1.50 now, I think, at the McDonald's. I don't know. I try not to go there regularly. Benji said facts. Mr. Waters said dumpster fire juice. That would probably be tasty. You know, it tastes like the summer of love. Big old dumpster fire just getting juiced out. Hopefully next time nobody stops them and they just push the flaming dumpster into the gas station. Oh, what fun times we've had in the past few years, my friends. The manager's special used to be 40 nuggets, a gallon of tea, and a large fry for like $20. Shake my head. I spent $48 there yesterday, my jaw on the floor. You need to calm down. You're spending $48 on yourself at McDonald's. That's nuts, Benji. That's where the flavor comes from, baby. Yeah, that dumpster fire juice takes you right to Flavor Town. Top it with a little donkey sauce. You're on it. Inevitably, some social media users point to the recent legislation in California that increased the minimum wage of fast food workers from $16 to $20. $20 minimum wage. Welcome to your new normal. Yeah, as if we haven't heard the term new normal enough times in the past couple of years. Welcome to California. Another chimed in. Others users shared their local McDonald's prices. Very few came close to being as high as California's. $50 nuggets. 50 nuggets here is $15. One Florida resident said. It's $6.19 in Dallas for a 20-piece and 2 large fries. That can't be right. That's got to be just the nuggets, man. That doesn't seem... Some viewers thought the video was an overreaction with an unfazed by the price of the meal deal. $12.50 a person isn't that crazy, a user wrote. Dude, it $12.50 a person at McDonald's is a little bit crazy. And the sad part is that's where those people get paid 15 plus. Yep. Yeah, instead, no, California it's too expensive to live here. We better make it more expensive to live here, is what they were basically saying. Well, the wage increase went into effect April 1st, 4 days after the TikTok was posted. Fast food business in the Golden State been bracing for the wage increase for months. Mod Pizza recently closed down at least 5 California locations before the minimum wage increase and kicked in on April 1st. Several California fast food establishments, particularly pizza chains, have been laying off employees in recent months. Wall Street Journal reported last month, including Pizza Hut and Round Table Pizza. A former Mod Pizza employee in Clovis told Fox 26 Fresno that just seemed like the right timing 2 weeks before all the fast food locations in California got the increase that we closed. Yeah, well, that nugget does look good, though. I mean, it doesn't look like sadness like they do in person. You know, I mean, it looks kind of cute. And like it's staring across you with those big round doe eyes. Yeah, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a tubby and have a different opinion on what McNuggets look like. Drugs are more expensive in California because everything will give you cancer. Yeah, I mean, and it's marked on everything. Like, you'll pick up random stuff in the store and look at the bottom and it'll be like, due to California, blah, 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 Proposition 65, this product could give you cancer. So I'm pretty sure that's like even on water bottles at this point. I don't know. Oh. No McNug, Dino only. Well, only Dino Nuggets. That's all we can afford. Throw back to the Dino Nuggies. Oh, looks better than my shit sandwich from Cumbies. Although some of them are good. I've been wanting to get one of their, like, the new grilled chicken sandwich things from, because, like, honestly, I can't imagine it's that much worse than fast food, really. Like, the Cumbies one's got to be fairly, it's got to be edible. I want to try one. Anyways, yeah, here's one of them there conspiracy things that we were told weren't true, but Now there's people going to jail over it, so I guess that was wrong. Woman sentenced to prison for stealing and selling Biden's daughter's diary. Amy Harris of Florida sold Ashley Biden's diary conservative group Project Veritas an actions judge called, quote, despicable, unquote. Yeah, because like when people leave their property behind at your house, like what else are you going to do? Like, well, this chick left a while ago and she didn't pay rent and I'm making up for some lost money and she happens to be the president's daughter, so why would I not cash in a little bit? She was the dumb that left her journal with all her secrets in it. Florida woman is sentenced Tuesday to a month in prison and 3 months of home confinement for stealing and selling Joe Biden's daughter's diary 4 years ago to the conservative group Project Veritas. I love how they call Project Veritas conservative because they're just actual journalists who try to expose the garbage that's going on and somehow not just believing like the blatant lies from the media is conservative now. Way to go, people. Way to back yourselves into a corner. Amy Harris was sentenced in Manhattan federal court by Laura Taylor Swain, judge who called Palm Beach, Florida woman's actions despicable. So she's from Florida and did this in Florida, but she's being charged and interesting. Harris pleaded guilty to a conspiracy charge in August 2022, admitting that she received 20 grand of the 40 grand that was paid by Project Veritas personal items belonging to the president's daughter, Ashley Biden. Veritas, founded in 2010, identifies itself as a news organization. This is from The Guardian, which is rich, because you could say the same thing about any of these outlets. It is best known for conducting hidden camera stings that embarrass news outlets, labor organizations, Democratic politicians, not to mention people from Pfizer and people from Joe Biden's cabinet and all sorts of interesting people. A tearful Harris apologized for naming Ashley Biden's private writings to be sold after she found the diary and other items at a friend's Delray Beach, Florida home in 2020, where prosecutors said Ashley Biden believed her items were safely stored after she had temporarily stayed there in spring 2020. I do not believe I'm above the law, Harris said, after the prosecutor urged a prison sentence following her failure to appear at numerous sentencing dates on the grounds that she was consumed with caring for her 2 children, ages 8 and 6. I'm a survivor of long-term domestic abuse and sexual trauma, she told the judge. With a lawyer for Ashley Biden observing from the courtroom spectator section, Harris apologized to the president's daughter, saying the regrets making her childhood and life public. Maybe don't leave your stuff laying at random people's houses, especially if you're the president's daughter. And you could, I mean, his son got private airplane rides on Air Force Two to China for private equity deals. Maybe you could scoot down there and in the Beast and pick it up yourself. Make sure it was safe if you'd written a bunch of egregious stuff about your father, but I guess not. I guess she didn't care that much. In announcing the sentence, Swain noted that Harris and co-defendant Robert Kurlander, nearby Jupiter, Florida, had first tried to unsuccessfully sell Ashley Biden's belongings Donald Trump's 2020 presidential campaign. The judge said that Harris, besides being motivated by greed, had hoped to impact the nation's political landscape. Kurlander has not yet been sentenced, and Harris had each pleaded guilty to conspiracy to transport stolen property across state lines. Oh no. I'm neglecting to see how stuff that you left behind is stolen. Wouldn't found to be a more apt term? Defense attorney Anthony Cicutti urged no prison time, citing his client's traumatic life and her efforts to care for her children while recovering from abuse and violence. She carries the shame and stigma of her actions, he said. Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Subelman urged a prison sentence, saying Harris has exhibited a pattern of disrespect for the law and the justice system. Ms. Harris is not the victim in this case, Subelman said. Ms. Biden is the victim in this case. Yeah, even though she's like, it's like the same deal with Hunter, man. Like, they're like, he's the victim of the laptop, and like, they're exploiting the president's son. And I'm like, well, maybe he shouldn't have been so dumb to like leave his private property where other people were going to be able to go through it and end up owning it. He said Harris in the summer of 2020 had stolen Ashley Biden's diary, digital storage card, books, clothing, luggage, and everything she'd get her hands on in hopes that she could make as much money as she could. She wanted to damage Miss Biden's father, which isn't too hard. He's already broken. Harris was told to report to prison in July. After she left the courthouse, she declined to speak. The lawyer for Ashley Biden also declined a comment that he submitted a letter to the judge on his client's behalf a day earlier that was not immediately put in the court record. Shocking. I've read 5 articles in the past year from The Guardian. That makes me a little bit sad. Not gonna lie, a little bit, just a little sad for that one. I didn't mean to. That's not my fault. Okay. Yeah, that's amen, Benji. That's like, I don't understand. Is it stolen or abandoned? And to be honest, I don't trust them to report it honestly anyway. So I'm just going to assume that if she thought it was safely being stored somewhere, that she left it behind. Just like her brother left a certain laptop from hell behind. And the entire media apparatus came out to defend him. But let me throw on a beat for a second so I can duck over in the corner. What do I want to play? Oh, Make Lawns Great Again verse or chorus is coming along here. Let me that's a banger. Let me Okay, let's get back into the news. Just need a quick little breather. Yeah, Space Cadet. Yeah, this is breaking news from the Eclipse Day. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee tells school kids that Moon is a planet that's mostly made up of gases. Yes, I actually forgot. I need to share this one with audio so we can listen to the clip, because at first I was like, there's no way that 75-year-old lady who is on the House Science Committee's Space Subcommittee said something this dumb. But no, we got of course we got an ad first, because why wouldn't we have like 2 ads on a news article? That just seems totally normal. Thank you, New York Post, for trying to monetize the most out of your content. At least it was TurboTax, you know? Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee, a Democrat from Texas, stunned attendees at a high school solar eclipse event Monday by claiming the rock-solid mass is a planet. The rock-solid moon is a, quote, planet that's made up, quote, of mostly gases. Before she added, she still wants to be the first in line to learn how to live there. Former Democrat of House Committee's Space Subcommittee badly botched elementary lunar facts while speaking during the gathering. Oh, here we go.
And so that you have the energy of the moon at night, and sometimes you've heard the word full moon, and sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon?
Yeah, these are the questions everybody wants to know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you've been very much asking yourself this very same question. Hickory, how do I live on the moon, considering it's made of mostly gases? And secondly, what are the rings made of? Oh man, this is amazing. Like, drunk magicians aren't this dumb. And here we are, a woman who's on the House Science Committee's Space Subcommittee.
Are the gases such that we can do that? The sun is a mighty powerful heat that is almost impossible to go near the sun.
The sun is a mighty powerful heat. Do you want to be the man on the moon? Boo-doo-doo-doo, boo-doo. Skimaro is here. Skimaro, what's going on, brother? She knows as much about science as my cat. Sorry to insult my cat. Yeah. P.S. in the comments, you guys, did anybody's animals freak out during the eclipse if they were near the line? My cat didn't seem to care. I do think the coolest part was how everything looks like you were living in an Instagram filter for like half an hour. That was pretty neat. I do wish I had done like the video of underneath the trees where all the leaves create the little pinhole thing. It would have been cool to get footage of that. But just getting the footage of it through my cell phone camera while streaming was, that's good enough. The moon is made of cheese. Swiss cheese, yes. And I was thinking what would be great is if the rings of the moon, since we're completely disregarding any scientific evidence when we're talking about the moon being made of gas, we might as well talk about it being made of cheese and its rings, because obviously the moon has rings in this alternate universe, apparently. Like, what if it was made of brioche, like really nice, buttery French bread, right? And that way, when the sun finally explodes and superheats everything, at least we have a giant mozzarella stick. I guess it would technically be a ball, but it'd be like a giant mozzarella stick hanging right off the side of the planet. And that would be, I think, a delicious adventure for everybody. Anyways, you've heard the word full moon. Sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see it. A full moon that is a complete rounded circle, which made up mostly gases, Jackson Lee said, 74. Told the teenage pupils who gathered on the sports field out of the celestial event. Which makes me wonder if they were just sitting there giggling. Because just some stank brie. Yeah, that would be a bummer. Unless we could take a couple like truckloads of raspberry jam up there, and then we could wrap it in some pastry dough. Because baked brie is pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. There was an eclipse. Yes, it was an apocalypse. I can actually pull up footage of it happening. That I filmed myself. Yeah, let's grab that. I don't even know how the audio and stuff was from this. Not great, so that's fun. Can't really see it through the window.
And it's probably time to go. This is Nud's show, yeah, this is Nud's show. And if you ain't one of them, it's probably time to go.
Yeah, that's right, good people. I'm Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming. We're hanging out here on the deck for the apocalypse. And I'm gonna grill some ribeyes. Idiots will be frying their eyes. I figured I might as well grill a ribeye while I'm out here. And in about 24 minutes, we're going to be at as much totality as we get here in Bridgewater. And I'm going to try throwing the stupid little glasses on my cell phone and see if this thing actually works. But we'll be hanging out, keeping an eye on comments, seeing if anybody shows up and or if you have anything to say. We're going to get this grill fired up. Oh, yeah, we got some smoke footage. Oh, why wouldn't we be grilling today? I'll be scanning in on those. Not quite available for the next yet. Yeah, love that. We'll get it figured out.
Turn her down just a little more. I'll take it under impressed.
Here we go. That was where we got the start getting the. Yeah, it worked. That's what it looks like when I put the little thingy over the camera, and it does kind of look like an eyeball. And then you can tell it kind of got smaller and smaller. And that was about peak there. And yeah, that's about as good of an eclipse shot as we got. Nick said, "Did you see it?" Benji said, "No, working too much." Nick said, "Been babysitting." Yeah, sometimes that's what you do on a job site, my friend. Just hanging out, babysitting. It's kind of what I feel like I do at my job.
Yeah, it still just looks like a dot, unfortunately. You know, can't really catch the shape on camera. Kind of a bummer. Hoping it'd be a little bit better. Oh well. We were here. Isn't that what really matters at the end of the day? Is I was out here with these stupid X's on. Check it out. And yes, we did get a cute, very nicely grilled ribeyes done while we we're at it.
Look at that. I get a shot done.
Morningwood coffee rub. So yeah, that's all I really got on this one. I'm gonna pack it up. I'll hang out and take another look or two. But
so yeah, that was just, you know, in case you were curious, that did actually happen. There was an eclipse. I caught it live. Cause yeah, I'm a smart feller. Or a fart smeller, depending on who you ask. That's why the question is, how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that? The congresswoman said. This is my favorite. The sun is a mighty powerful heat. It's almost impossible to go near the sun. The moon is more manageable. Like she was implying that like somebody would have the desire to live on the sun. I mean, I guess Smash Mouth did, right? Like, you might as well be walking on the sun. Not gonna lie, I absolutely love that song. They had some jams back in the day. I'm glad that one of those dudes. That's just true. You could have gone to Hickory's for lunch, but you know that we don't serve lunch here. It's all about. Don't you remember breakfast at Hickory's? And I said, "What about breakfast at Hickory's?" And she said, "I think I remember those pancakes. They're bacon with blue cheese, and I don't know if I liked it. But I guess sausage is one thing we got." Yeah, that was breakfast at Hickory's. I wish parodies were easier to like do properly as far as releasing music goes, because I would love to be the next generation's Weird Al and just do a bunch of ridiculous parodies. I'd even do like clean, non-political ones. But yeah, I love pancakes too, Benji. Those steaks look good. They were good. Yeah, I did a couple ribeyes. They're probably like 12 ounce. Love it. Benji said, "I love pancakes." Beautiful assist in the comments saying, "Pancakes when you're making them for me." If you want bacon blue cheese pancakes, I'll make them anytime, honey buns. Sounds delicious and savory with extra syrup. Short stack coming up. I don't think we been on the moon the last 50 years, you know, because she kind of like looked that up and seen for this speech. She's like, "Yeah, I don't think we've been there in 50 years. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's not something you could have looked up." But were they Doug approved steaks? No, they were better. They were Hickory approved steaks. Oh, the Doug Treats video. I need to watch some of those on the channel at some point. Ew. Yeah, you'd love it. It's delicious. Don't you even ew me. I don't know about you, but I want to be the first in line to know how to live and to be able to survive on the moon, Jackson Lee added. There's another planet which we're going to see shortly. Jackson Lee is notorious in DC for high staff turnover because of alleged unusual and abusive demands of staffers. Statement to the Post on Tuesday, she admitted she was wrong to describe the moon, which is virtually no atmosphere, as being composed mostly of gas to the school kids. Obviously, I misspoke and meant to say the sun, but as usual, Republicans are focused on stupid things instead of stuff that actually really matters. What can I say? Though foolish thinkers lust for stupidity, she said of GOPers who swiftly criticized her glaring gaffes. Yeah, because, yeah, little things like study on the sub-house committee talking about how the moon's made of gas. 3 rocket launches in 2 days, no moonshot, but not much news about it. I did see that there's some companies working on sending those things, rovers to the moon recently, and that I guess there is a push to go back there, which does make you wonder, like, why did we spend all that time and money and effort back in the day, like rushing to get to the moon, and then we're just like, yeah, we're good. Yeah, it was enough. We beat Russia. Yeah, screw it. We don't need to. We're not doing anything with it. You had to ask the wife if you approved it. You didn't even eat one, so. Love the videos with you and Doug. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. What happened in the basement they shot the moon landing in? Who knows? It's probably still a soundstage in Hollywood. Did you hear about the doctor that fell out of the Airstream camper during the apocalypse? During the eclipse. Hear about the doctor that fell out over the Airstream camper during the eclipse? No, I mean, that's people gonna be dumb, right? They should be focusing on issues like prenatal care, building more affordable housing, and more reduction of student loan debt, as President Joe Biden is. Yeah, because student loan debt's totally the responsibility of the taxpayers. We should definitely pay that off and not like wish people took responsibility for their own actions. That would be wild and crazy, and we wouldn't get anything done. Also, I care more about these children would not have experienced this eclipse in an enthusiastic manner, and I care more about protecting the rights of women and children than engaging in this kinds of senseless dialogue. Yeah, just like deflecting. Republicans bad. Legit Google it. I will in a sec. Out of while driving. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it makes sense. That's like where we are as far as like the level of what you expect from an American doctor nowadays, I suppose. To fall out of an Airstream. So I was going basement. What am I Googling, Benji? I Googled, I guess binged, basement the moon landing was shot in. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what I should exactly search. Doctor sounds dope, though. He sounds like he had a good time. Yeah. Sometimes you have a good time during the eclipse. Said, oh, the doc. What doc? I'm so confused. Oh, the doctor? Okay, yeah, we can do. I thought you meant the moon landing thing. Airstream. Oh yeah, look at that pediatrician. I'm gonna try not to make. I got it. I got it. You don't need to send me the link, Nick. I totally just found it. Doctor dies after falling on an Airstream camper while traveling to see eclipse. A New York that says a lot. A New York doctor died after falling out of an Airstream camper that was being towed by her husband after they traveled to see the eclipse, authorities said. Are you supposed to be in the camper while it's being towed? I'm like, I feel like that's a thing where like you're not supposed to actually be in the camper if it's yeah. Dr. Monica Warrenica, a pediatrician from Long Island, was riding in the Airstream camper, which is illegal in New York State. Okay, I guess that's fair. When a gust of wind blew open the passenger side door, police said the doctor and mom of three was thrown onto the road as her family watched. The incident happened near Brownsville, New York, as the doctor and her family were traveling to view the the eclipse, and the path of totality. The door was shaking a little bit. It sounded super windy, even though she had closed it behind her. The pediatrician's daughter, Helena, said, tells Inside Edition. I saw her 1 second, then the next second she was gone, and the door was wide open, and she didn't even have time to scream. Helena says they did not know that they were not supposed to travel in the Airstream while it was being towed. We were looking, and we saw it in some states it was legal, and in some states it wasn't. Andy Vinvanco rents out his Airstreams in California, even though the camper may look inviting and relaxing. He says he tells customers never to ride inside while it's on the move. It's bumpy, there's only two wheels, and there's no seatbelts. Yeah, it seems like that would be pretty common sense. It's different in all states. Yeah, even if it's legal, it's like not a good idea, right? Like I understand like riding in the back when you're in like a tour bus or like a Winnebago or something like that, but like to ride in a trailer that's not in the vehicle you're in just seems like a bad idea. And then like it would bounce around a lot. I mean, it's a trailer, dude. Like anyone else seen a trailer jump? I wouldn't want to be on one. She might have thought they were already there. Capricorn 1. Oh man. Says the door of his camper had swung open while driving before because he did not latch the door properly. Yeah, it was totally just hang out in there. That seems smart. After her death, Airstream released a statement saying they were saddened over the incident, noted the safety protocol advises owners they cannot tow an Airstream with people inside. Shocking. It's illegal to ride and travel trailers like an Airstream in 39 states, including New York and California. Pediatrician's family is left to grieve over their loss. She was the most loving and warm-hearted person ever. Just apparently smart enough to be a doctor, not smart enough not to ride inside of a trailer while it was hurling down the highway. So, yeah, sad that the family has to go through that now. On the flip side, you know, I guess Darwin is still in effect. BizPack review. We got a hot one here before we get in the last one of the night. I love the mandate, the name drop for the camper. CIA officer boasts FBI can put anyone in jail, set them up, spills secrets in a shocking undercover video. Shocking undercover video shows a CIA officer admitting the FBI uses embellished news and fake social media to entrap people. Recorded by Sound Investigations, a new undercover operation similar to Project Veritas. The video showed a journalist interviewing an unsuspecting CIA contractor, an officer named Gavin O'Blennis. We can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do, O'Blennis said in the video. You set them up, you create the situation where they have no choice but to act on their impulse. And once they act on the impulse, then you call it entrapment. And yeah, I should have shared this with audio so we could watch some clips, eh? It's all right. I'm working on it. We're getting better all the time. From Sound Investigations. Oh, right to Twitter. That's fine. Anyone, we can put anyone in jail. Set him up. We call it a nudge. FBI did what we wanted with Alex Jones. Took his money away, chopped his legs off. Estimates 20 undercover FBI agents at J6. Works with some of them now at CIA. FBI use embellishes news, fake social media, really get people mad. Let's check out a clip from this. Because why wouldn't we? We were after him, hardcore. Yeah. And no surprise to anybody. Considering you guys failed to discredit people on the actual merit of his arguments and such. Not saying that he's right on everything or that I even like the guy. I do find him hysterically entertaining, though. I love the mandate and name drop for the camper. Looked like a food challenge on the cart. Oh, gross. Guy Fieri's next show. Highway Roast. Oh, and it didn't even play the clip. Yeah, I'm sorry you guys couldn't even see that clip because it was on a different... Yep. I'm getting worse all the time, maybe. That's the real thing. Here we go. Let's share that so you can actually see this.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How?
Just let them up.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
We get really close. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens. Sometimes you like to fuse and just wait for it to follow. Nothing like putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are?
We did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away, chopped his legs off.
Yep. Nothing like, just blatantly telling somebody you're on a date with exactly all the nefarious garbage you were up to. Here, let's grab this. No, let's grab the second clip here because this is also fascinating.
Like who would be like a big influencer that you're after? You're like I don't know, like I don't even know these names, like a Fox News person or like a Tucker Carlson or like.
Oh, I'm sure he's on the radar, right? You always want the biggest and loudest. Like that, what was his name? The one that said the Sandy Hook didn't happen.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are? Are you still after him? Why?
Because he's broke. It was a
Yeah, we're not after him anymore because he's broke. We did what we wanted. That's essentially like our government's play at this point. It's like they're not actually persecuting people. They're just going after people so they don't have any funding, i.e. what you see it happen to Orange Man Bad. When asked if the Bureau still after Jones, oh, I took down the share screen. Bad man. Bad man. When asked if the Bureau still after Jones, he said no, explaining it because Jones is now broke. They're laying off him. He's broke. He was found guilty and he had to pay like $100 million. Journalists continued by asking what the CIA's goal was to bankrupt Jones. So pretty much. Also asked whether the Bureau encouraged the affected Sandy Hook families to civilly sue Jones. Oblena said, kinda. We don't encourage people. We just say there's no federal statute being broken, but you do have an option for a civil case. That's a pretty good case in our opinion. That's fantastic. I'm interested in the picture on the bottom right. I think this one right here. I believe it's dangerous signs that you have TNBC. I don't know what that is. It's like IBTC. You're a member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. I don't know though. I'm not a vetted source. Thank you again, Nick. I did not need that, but that's great. Thank you for sending that over. Okay, we got one last one to get into, and this one's a fun one. Yeah, apparently every year, Rand Paul puts out a report called the Festivus Report that just details some of the stuff that we've wasted public funding on. I thought a few of these might be fun to go look through. Festivus Report 2023. Got all these awesome memes. Investor Sport. How's it 2023? Already coming to a close. What a year it's been. Twitter is now X. What we thought were UFOs were Chinese spy balloons. Barbie battled Oppenheimer at the box office. A missing F-35 jet flew over 60 miles without a pilot. Safe to say that some big changes have occurred since last year's Festivus report. Last Festivus, we lamented over the national debt reaching astronomical 30 trillion. Shockingly, in one short year, the career politicians and bureaucrats in Washington have managed to approach 34 billion trillion in debt. without so much as a second thought. Who's to blame for a crushing level of debt? Everybody. This year, members of both parties in Congress voted to raise the debt ceiling, which empowered the government to borrow an unlimited amount of money until 2024. As Congress spends to reward its favorite industries and pet projects, the American taxpayers are forced to pay the price. There's record high inflation and crippling interest rates. Yeah. This year is highlighting a whopping $900 trillion of waste, including an NIH grant to study Russian cats walking on a treadmill. Barbie used as proof of ID for receiving COVID paycheck protection program funds, $6 million to promote tourism in Egypt, $200 million to struggling artists like Post Malone, Chris Brown, and Lil Wayne. No matter how much money the government has already wasted, politicians keep demanding even more. As always, taking the path to fiscal responsibility is often a lonely journey, but as I've done in the past, I'll continue to fight against the government's waste this holiday season. So before we get to the feats of strength, it's time for my airing of grievances. I have a lot of problems with the federal spending, and now it's time to hear about them. The waste of 2023. Ooh, yeah, we got some good comments. Big dirty milkers. Yeah, those mommy jugs. Well done, Nick. Class act right there. Should make them bigger, though, next time. Put a couple more spaces in there. Barbie doll photo used to get COVID PPP funds. Interest in international debt is expensive. Dr. Fauci's monkey business on NIH's Monkey Island. USAID fund to boost Egyptian tourism. USDA's cutting-edge research, walking dogs in the summer. DHS training employees to be their authentic and best selves. Russian cats on a treadmill studies funded by the NIH. The government pays dead people again. DOD's lobster tank. How to ruin expensive military equipment, part 1, 2, and 3. Real fake DHS first graphic novel about disinformation. DHS's second graphic novel, COVID disinformation. NIH's meth head monkeys. Treasury pot of cash for political campaigns. NIHS monkey casino gambling for drinking water. SBA's ticket to backstage. Studying COVID-19 misinformation on social media in black and rural communities. Dr. Fauci's transgender monkey study. That sounds like a good one. Whoopsie. Improper federal payments. And flashback. The government likes its gambling monkeys. Taxpayer dollars wasted $900 billion. That's just this report alone. Barbie dolls. The phase of Barbie doll dream world played a role in the fiscal nightmare that was COVID-19 spending. Government spending was already out of control when Congress approved $800 billion in COVID paycheck protection program funds. Federal agents hustled to get the funds out quickly. Came as no surprise when swindlers rushed to line up for their cut of COVID cash. Some of us saw the writing on the wall and predicted that shutting down our economy and printing more money to pay the nation and stay home from work would be a fiscal disaster. But using Barbie's face as proof of identity to steal taxpayer dollars was not on my COVID waste bingo card. What was supposed to be an AI system to verify proof of identity quickly exposed the stupidity of the program. Verification system did not catch the image of dolls uploaded by fraudsters. Somehow the Small Business Administration carelessly approved the applicants from Toyland and sent out improper COVID-19 PPP loans. Yeah, these were some of the photos that did get accepted. That's amazing. Way to go. Way to go with our tax money. $659 billion for interest on our national debt. Borrowing, spend money we don't have is expensive. Dr. Fauci's monkey business, $33.2 million to run NIH's Monkey Island. That's right. Spent $33.2 million last year. Just running an island full of monkeys for medical research in the future. Because why wouldn't we? $6 million to boost Egyptian tourism. Here to float in a hot air balloon around Egyptian ruins, or travel down the Nile of the Royal Cleopatra Nile cruise. Maybe touring the Temple of Qum, or seeing an 1897 oil press is more your style. If so, Esna, Egypt might be the perfect spot for your next vacation. Nothing against tourism, but U.S. taxpayers should not be the ones funding tourism boosting program in Esna, Egypt. Yet the United States Agency of International Development approved spending $6 million to do just that, boost tourism in Egypt, which promotes as a value investment in sustainable integrated tourism. Cutting edge research, walking hot dogs. You walk outside in the summer, you get hot. When Labrador retrievers are walking outside in the summer, they also get hot. Getting hot while walking outside in the heat might be obvious to you, but the United States Department of Agriculture allocated cutting edge research funding to support a summer study that walked 16 dogs of 2 different colors and measured their rectal temperatures. Agriculture Research Service, the USDA, which funded the study at Southern Illinois University. It's $1.7 billion from Congress. Yeah. Who would have guessed? It's hot when you walk when it's hot. Department of Homeland Security training employees to be our authentic and best selves. Russian cats on a treadmill studies funded part of $2.7 million NIH grant. After having their brainstems snipped, Russian cats were forced to walk on a treadmill in Russian labs. That seems totally nice. This is all thanks to U.S. taxpayers footing the bill. Russian scientists funded with your money posted videos of their catwalk studies, which showed shaved cats hooked to electrodes and struggling to walk on a treadmill. These catwalks were a part of a $2.7 million National Institute of Health grant given to the researchers at Georgia Institute of Technology in the U.S. Institute then subgranted the funds to researchers in St. Petersburg, Russia. Fact first uncovered by the White Coat Waste Project in 2021. Yeah, because why wouldn't we be sending money to people we're totally not at war with, I guess, is the narrative. I don't know. Government paid $38 million to 10 people. Testified that another $38 million in COVID payments, an average of $83,000 each, went to people Uncle Sam knew were dead. Figures come from the special task force Congress authorized to track COVID patients. The federal government, specifically $10 million, was paid to individuals who were already dead on the date someone applied for the funding. Solid. Government doled out $1.3 million of your money to 30 individuals who were dead for at least a year. And what fraud inspectors deemed to be one particularly egregious examples. This was not the first time Uncle Sam tracked taxpayer funds to the mailboxes of the dead. Lobster tank, not quite the tank to take in a battle. DoD makes purchases from military operations. One would imagine weapons, ammo, tanks might be among the purchases. DoD paid $8,395 for a lobster tank purchased from a restaurant equipment company in Springfield, Virginia. I understand military personnel need to eat, but does the DoD really need a lobster tank? I think we can all agree these aren't the tanks Americans thought their taxpayers were funding. That's wild. They were in $89 million worth of engines. I know, let's start your vehicles' engines outside, said no auto mechanic ever. That's where the U.S. Army officials improperly stored 80 gas turbine engines valued at $89.6 million. Each one of the $1.1 million engines were improperly stored for 3 years. Apparently, to the code, the properly store the engines was missing upon their arrival, so instead of putting the engines in a covered shed, they left outside at $1 million an engine. Why couldn't someone just call and ask for code? Nuts. $12.6 million worth of transmissions. Then the DoD Inspector General found the U.S. Army improperly stored 135 hydraulic transmissions valued at $12.6 million outside, despite the requirement to be stored in a shed. Over 1,000 officials told IG they simply didn't have room in the shed. $68 million worth of military tank and vehicle treads. The Inspector General cataloged 117,534 vehicular track shoes valued at $68.29 million left outside in the open air. They were not covered or stored properly at all. The IG said over 1,000 military officials did not follow the military's own guidance on storage. DHS graphic novel about disinformation. Yeah, that's right. They literally made a graphic novel, a comic book for those of us who use the old term. The first series was called Real Fake and featured a foreign operation created to spread misinformation about a U.S. senator and impact U.S. elections. Because even though, it's totally not American companies doing that. The second graphic novel covered COVID and, looks riveting. Meth head monkeys. Over 100,000 Americans die of meth overdoses each year. But yeah, they gave lab monkeys meth in the morning and tracked the monkey's sleep habits through implanted wire leads running subcutaneously from the head, incision to the eye orbital, exiting the eye from underneath the upper eyelid. Because why wouldn't you research meth in monkeys? I mean, seems like a perfect use of our money. $400 million pot of cash for political campaigns. NIH's monkey casino gambling for drinking water. SBA's $200 million ticket to backstage. Yeah. Local concert venues, family-owned theaters were forced to shut down during the pandemic. Distributing financial relief was left to the Small Business Administration. The Shuttered Venue Operators Grant Program was supposed to provide a lifeline to small entertainment businesses nationwide. Maybe like places like local Vermont comedy clubs and such. Sadly, but not surprisingly, SBA failed to deliver. Business Insider identified dozens of famous music artists and their touring companies that received over $200 million of funding through the program. So-called small business owners such as Post Malone, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, and the Smashing Pumpkins received up to $10 million each. Even Nickelback received $2 million. While some may claim these funds were used to keep supporting staff, artists were not required to do so, and we have no way to determine how these blank checks were used. These multi-millionaire musicians were cashing checks instead of intended receipts, or intended recipients, America's small businesses. Vampire Weekend got 8.3, Lil Wayne got 8.9, Slipknot got 9.7. This is mind-boggling, dude. Post Malone got 10, Korn got 5.3, Usher got 3.1. Company run by his agent Dre London also received grants totaling nearly 20. So Post got 10, and then his manager got 20. A music festival founded by Slipknot, Knotfest, received another over $1 million after the band themselves received 9.7. That's nuts. Transgender monkey study. Back in business of wasting your money and torturing animals, this time instead of tormenting puppies with ravenous sandflies, Florida lab's trying to feminize male monkeys. That's right, the NSA used $477,000 to tax dollars to fund the forced feminization of male rhesus monkeys. Utilizing taxpayer funds from NIAID, a Florida lab set out to examine what would happen if female hormones were given to male monkeys. After receiving the hormones, biopsies from the forced feminized male monkeys were tested to see if they were more susceptible to HIV. Lab worked to make male monkeys transgender to address social injustices suffered by transgender persons, such as transgender women, individuals who were assigned male set at birth but express their gender along the female spectrum. Critics noted that the monkeys themselves are not susceptible to HIV and argue injecting the male monkeys with female hormones is unlikely to yield relevant information to help humans. $236 billion in improper federal payments. This year, the Biden administration sent out whopping $236 billion in checks, otherwise known as improper payments. Federal law defines the term as payment made by the government to the wrong person in the wrong amount for the wrong reason. Federal year 2023's whoopsies were down slightly from $247 billion in improper payments, which came to $675 million per day. Some of the most alarming improper payments: Medicaid, $50 billion. Pandemic employment assistance, 43. Earned income tax credits, 21. PPP loans, 4 billion. American Opportunity Tax Credits, 1.6. And VA purchasing long-term services, 1.4. 2021 saw a total of $281 billion in improper payments, largely due to the massive COVID payments. So it's even worse in 2023. That's government likes gambling monkeys. Yeah, they've done that a few times. They like to have the monkeys gamble. This time it was for drinking water. They said spank the monkey. You liked it. Stupid phone, spank the monkey. I like spank like monkey too. That works. Anyways, that's all I really got for this one. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And yeah, we had a lot to get through there. But yeah, that's certainly all I have for this evening. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you got a good week. Didn't lose your eyesight. And yeah, I'll be back next week. Have a great week. Hopefully I'll have more news on the next MC Molasses release. We're getting close. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay drunk, stay under roaming, but most importantly, it's trying times, stay sane. I'll see you guys next time. Drunk Magician out. Cheers.
Above all else, I just want to say thank you. Have a beautiful night. Drunk Magician out. Cheers. Now let's get the credits. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate the help. Cause this is a show I do by myself. I produce the shit myself.